Hi guys, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today I have a cute DIY for you, and it's going to be a home sign from the Dollar Tree. I decided to make something fun and something really versatile that I can use for many holidays. So check that out. And before we get started on the video, I do want to mention that this is also part of a challenge. This challenge is being hosted by Sonia from Domestic Diva DIY, and I will have her channel down below along with the playlist so you can see other DIYers and what they came up with for the home sign. With that being said, let's get started on the video. For this project, I will be using these little houses, and I think they are so absolutely stinking adorable. And so it's going to either look like this, or I'm not sure how I want these to look yet, or maybe even like this. I don't know. No, not like that. So, and it's going to say H-O-M-E on here. Isn't this going to be adorable? But first things first, I am going to paint it in Rust-Oleum chalk paint, linen white. This has been one of my favorite. It's just my husband got it for me, and I've been using it for pretty much everything. And so yeah, that's the first thing I will do, is just cover it with some paint. Okay, you guys, so my shadow boxes are all painted, and this is the order that I want this to be in. So it's going to be H-O-M-E. This is going to be the one that's going to be interchangeable. And then these three, I am going to do the letters. Now, I wanted, because these are shadow boxes, I wanted that height to be there. So here is what I came up with. These are actually from the Dollar Tree, and they're these circular foam circles, and two of them come in one pack. And they are kind of perfect to fit and to give it a little bit of height. And then I'm getting this coaster to be my guide for the letters, because it fits nicely in these two, well, except the first one. So in the first one, we're going to adjust the H, but but the other ones, they're fine. Okay, so I'm just using this little multi-purpose tool from the Dollar Tree. One, 2, 3, 4 inches here, and we need to make an inch in the middle. So there's your inch, 2.5, and then 1.5. So there's your middle right here. Okay. So I do not like the way my M turned out. Thank goodness I have an extra one of these little circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to trace. Okay, I realized where I went wrong. I don't like the points. I want this to be squared a little bit more, so I'm measuring my inch, and then I'm going to measure an inch from here, and an inch from here, and that is where I'm going to make my little V. Okay, so to cover the letters, I will be using this felt from the Dollar Tree, and let's see how it will cover. I think it'll be okay. There's no light coming back from the shadow boxes, so it should cover nicely. Before we actually cover the letters themselves, I'm just going to I'm going to cover the little areas. So I'm going to cover on the E completely, the E part, plus I'm going to put 2 strips right there. That way when we put our smooth sheet, we're going to cut it in the middle this way and then fold it in. For the M, I'm going to put a little square right here and cover this area. When we put it flat, I want this end to be covered with that. We'll see how that works. For the H, quite obvious, I will be covering this middle part with a little piece. So let's get started. Sign right here, and I do want these to be leveled, and because E is kind of the biggest letter and the shortest house, I'm going to center this, and what it comes down to is I can fit one of these right there. If it's nice and tug, that's how far from the bottom I want it to be. And so I'm just going to be hot gluing that in place. Now it's time to work on the O. So the first thing you need to do is to figure out how big your letters is as far as the circumference, and I found this ribbon roll to be pretty much that same size because I don't want the O to be a lot bigger. I need the O to be about the same size as the rest of my letters, so I found that. Because we're doing different types of O's, I'm just going to put this aside. And I'm getting this foam board from the Dollar Tree. This is, as you can see, this is a used up piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a few circles. This all depends on how many different wreaths you're planning on doing, how many holidays, that kind of thing. Okay, so the next step, we are going to get some felt, once again from the Dollar Tree, but this one is white. And since we have a nice flat surface, I'm not too worried. It's going to be white, it's going to be covered. Then we're just going to take about, make sure there's like a 1/2 inch all around, and we're going to cut it. At this point, we gotta get the magnets right here. And the first thing I want to do is I do want to find my center. So this is where I have my little star, that's our center. To the center, I'm going to hot glue 3 magnets. And obviously we need to make sure that whatever part goes on here is positive and this, so it comes together nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 of these and hot glue them, then take the top off. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Well, I guess maybe we can do that. And when it cools, I'm going to take this one. Actually, I can probably take this one. And whoop. And the nice thing about this is if you feel like whatever you do and this is not going to be strong enough, you can always add 2 more. For our first one, I will be grabbing these little leaves from this little spring floral. And I will be taking them all off the little branches, laying them around. And then for the little bow, I will be using a jute cord and making a simple bow. Now we're going to take the same flowers, and I have a lot of these left over, and I'm just going to go all the way around. And the flower has a little flower bud, and then this little thing at the bottom, I'm not going to be using this. I'm going to be cutting it just right there in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to take these and I'm going to divide where it has 3, and then there's a big one in the middle. We're going to take that one apart, and then okay, same thing here, 3 and 3. And it's okay if they fall apart or whatever, because we want to put yellow throughout, and we don't need it to be bulky, we just need it to be light. Okay, for the 4th of July, I'm using these foam stars that we all got to know on the 4th of July. We don't actually need as many as I'm pulling out, but so get the sharpest knife you have, and this one is a serrated knife, and I'm going to very, very gently, very carefully cut my star in half. There you go. And then I'm going to be placing a blue and a red in that order. our Easter wreath, I am going to use these eggs. These are from the Dollar Tree. First thing we do is we remove the skewer. Then we get a sharp knife and we're going to cut the egg in half very, very carefully. Okay, for the center bow right here, I grabbed all of these little ribbons on the little eggs, opened them up, and now I'm going to fold them each in half and thread through. Now these are very kind of loose weaved ones, so don't go all the way down. We're going to tie them in the middle. So here we go. And we have a fun little bow. We spent zero money on it. We didn't need any other ribbon. It matches all of our little eggs. Trim it up a little bit. Hot glue it in the middle. All right, for this one, I got 2 of these ribbons. They're both from the Dollar Tree. And so this one is white with a little silver trim. And this one's like a Tiffany kind of blue, greenish blue with a silver trim. So I'm going to start by getting this one. And for this one, we're going to use a needle and a thread. By the way, if you want to know how I made my little jar that I use, it's basically on my craft table all day long. I'll insert a link right here. Okay. So for this, we are going to go for a simple stitch, and we're just going to go in and out about 1/4 of an inch or smaller, and we are just going to do this for a while. And how long we're going to do it, it depends on how scrunchy, I guess, you want to make it. And we're going to go all the way around like this, and this is going to be the wreath part of our O. Okay, now that I have my little ribbon, I'm just hot gluing it in place. I'm going to try to make a small bow, and the easiest way to control and make it is just grab your needle and thread, pull it through, and then I do this thing where I go in and out like a zigzag, like an accordion, I guess, and then just wrap it around a few times. Alright, to make the raffia bow, I have the piece that I'm going to bring everything together, and just over one of these little fork loops or fork divots, I'm just going to put it and hold it down. Here is my little starting point with my raffia, and I'm just going to hold it down. Now I'm going to make 2 loops, and then I'm going to bring it down and crisscross it at the bottom. Where I'm crisscrossing my beginning end and ending end, I'm going to hold it down, bring up my little loop that I'm bringing everything together with, and just kind of lightly making a bow, but I'm not going to make it really tight just because I need to move it. Now I'm going to make it tight now that I have the bow. For the Christmas bow, I'm going to make it really easy. I got these at the Dollar Tree last year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this metal part in the back just a little bit shorter. So tighten it down, cut it shorter, and I'm going to hot glue 5 of them in the back. Let's see here. For the Valentine's, this one's going to be a little bit different. We are going to pick a heart and just throw a magnet in the back. Well, what did you guys think? I thought it turned out absolutely cute and adorable, and I love the fact that I can interchange it to different holidays throughout the year. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell button, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up because that does help my channel. With that being said, have a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye, guys!